Good morning, students. This is 12th standard botany video class. Video 1. In this video, we are going to see the new unit, that is unit 9, plant ecology. Under this unit, we are going to see the chapter 7, ecosystem. Dear students, what is ecosystem? You already studied in the previous video class, that is the interrelationship between the living organism with the non-living environment is known as ecosystem. Dear students, the word ecosystem was first proposed by Tansley, and the definition of the ecosystem was given by the scientist Odum in the year 1962. According to Odum, ecosystem means it is a structural and functional unit of ecology. It is the structural and functional unit of ecology. So, dear students, in this ecosystem lesson, we are going to see different types of ecosystem and also ecological pyramids, then plant succession. Dear students, the first topic is PAR, P-A-R, that means photosynthetically active radiation. Dear students, photosynthesis is the important process is taken place in the plant pots. By this process, plants which are preparing their own food material. For this photosynthetic process, plants require certain amount of light. So simply we have studied that one. Light energy is converted into chemical energy is the simple equation of photosynthesis, isn't it? So the light which is essential thing for photosynthesis. So that light is available the atmosphere, that means from the sunlight only we are getting the light. So the amount of light available for photosynthesis of plants is called PAR, that is photosynthetically active radiation. So the radiation which we are getting from the sunlight is 400 to 700 nanometer wavelength. Is the important one mark question. So the wavelength of the light which are used for photosynthesis is 400 to 700 nanometer wavelength. So this photosynthesis is essential for the plant growth. The light intensity, that is PAR, is not constant. It may be vary because due to the formation of clouds, tree shades, air, dust particle which is present in the atmosphere, varying of the season, latitude, that means height of the region, and length of the daylight. So these are all the different factors which are affecting the wavelength of the sunlight. Generally, plants which are absorb more blue and red light for efficient sunlight for photosynthesis. So different color is there, emotion, ill reaction, emotion, light, spectra we have studied in the 11th standard, which are having the different color, out of which, that is they are showing the VIBGR 7 colors, out of which blue and red light only more efficient for photosynthesis. So it starts from the wavelength is 400 to 700 nanometer. Dear students, imagine the plants which are getting sunlight for 100%, that is the total sunlight. They used only 34% of sunlight, remaining that 66% is once again reaches to the atmosphere. At the same time, out of this 66 percentage, 10 percentage is held by ozone layer and also water vapors and atmospheric gases. And the remaining 56 reaches the earth surface. So 34 percentage reaching the atmosphere is reflected back into the atmosphere. So out of 100, 34 is once again returned back to the atmosphere. Remaining 66, 10% is used by ozone, water vapor and atmospheric gases. Remaining 56 only reaches the earth surface for photosynthetic process. Out of this 56, only 2 to 10 percentage of solar energy is only used by the plants for photosynthesis, while the remaining portion of the heat is dissipated as a heat. That means it will be liberated in the form of heat region. It is modified into heat. So, how the light which is reaches to the plant for photosynthesis is given in a detailed manner in that paragraph. Out of 100 percentage, 36 percentage of sunlight which is emitted from the atmosphere is once again back into the atmosphere. That is 34 percentage. Remaining 66 percentage is there. Out of 66, 10 percentage is absorbed by ozone layer, atmosphere and also water vapor. Remaining 56 only is reaches to the earth surface. Out of this, 22 to 10 percentage of solar energy only used by the plants for photosynthesis. Remaining is wasted in the form of heat energy. So, PAR, photosynthetically active radiation, is reported in the form of millimoles or square meter per second. Millimoles per square meter per second by using the silicon photovoltaic detector, which detect only the wavelength of 400 to 700 nanometer of a light. So the PAR value ranges from 0 to 3000 millimoles per square meter per second. At night, the PAR value is 0. During midday only, particularly in the summer, PAR often reaches 2000 to 3000 millimoles square meter per second. So dear students, one more question. PAR is reported as dash. What is that one? Millimoles per square meter per second. Most probably, the wavelength of the light is 400 to 700. The PAR value of the light ranges from 0 to 3000 millimoles per square meter per second. Important one more question. The daytime, the PAR value is 0. In the summer season, in the midday time, the PAR values reaches 2000 to 3000 millimoles per square meter per second is the important one more question. Next they given, do you know paragraph, types of carbon. That means different types of carbon is there. One is the green carbon. So green carbon means a carbon dioxide which is absorbed by the plants for photosynthetic process is known as green carbon. Then second one, grey carbon. That means a carbon which is stored in the fossil fuels, that is coal, petroleum and biogas, which is deposited on the rocky region, lithosphere. That is said to be grey carbon. Then blue carbon, the color of the sea or ocean is said to be the blue. The carbon which is stored in the atmosphere and ocean is known as blue carbon. Then brown carbon, carbon which is stored in the wood of the forest, that is said to be industrialized forest, that is said to be brown carbon. That means a bark of a tree is, what is that one? Brown color, wood, marakatta, brown color. So the carbon which is stored in the wood region is known as brown carbon. Another one is the black carbon, the carbon which is emitted from the burning of a gas, diesel engine and coal fired power plant is known as black carbon. Dear students, each and every one is an important 1 mark and 2 mark question. Green means utilized by photosynthesis, grey carbon means stored in the fossil fuels, blue carbon which is absorbed in the atmosphere and ocean or stored, okay. Then brown carbon means which is stored in the industrialized forest or wood region. Last one, black carbon which is emitted from the burning of gas, diesel engine and coal fire power plant. This is said to be different types of carbon. Dear students, up to this we have seen photosynthetically active radiation, PAR, okay. Now we are going to see the concept of tropical level in an ecosystem. Dear students, in the particular environment is consist of living organism as well as non-living thing. That is totally known as biotic factor such as plants and animals, abiotic factor such as temperature, soil, water, humidity, air, sunlight, pH, water content, soil, everything is considered to be a abiotic factor. So how this biotic and abiotic things which are interrelated in the particular environment, that should be explained with the help of the different level of an ecosystem, that is said to be tropic level of an ecosystem. Dear students, tropic is a Greek word which means to food or feeding. To food or feeding. So the tropic level refers to the position of the organism under their food chain. Position of an organism in the food chain, that is said to be tropic level. So that means in the food chain, in which place the organism is occupied. Based upon that, it is said to be the tropic level. So the number of the tropic level is equal to the number of steps of the food chain. For example, if the 5 food chain steps is there, means the tropical level is also 5. If they are 4, means the tropical level is also 4. So the number of tropical level is depend upon the or equal to the steps of the food chain. Okay. So the tropical level are divided into different. First one, producer or T1 level, tropic 1 level. Which one is the producer? Now only I told you in the previous paragraph, plants preparing their food material by the process is known as photosynthesis. So all the green plants only known as producers because they are only preparing their own food material. Dear students, if you are having one doubt, why animals are not said to be producers? We are all said to be the carnivorous animal. We are not preparing the food material. The food material which is already prepared by the plants only, we are utilizing and which modified into different form by cooking. And we are eating the food material. So we are said to be consumers only, not producers. So all the green plants which are having the green color pigment, chlorophyll, so that only they are doing the photosynthetic process. So plants are named as producers. So these producers only which are occupying the first tropical level. I told you T1, T for tropic, first means first level. Tropic, first tropic level are known as producers. Then the energy produced by the producers are utilized by the plant eaters, that means plant eating animals, herbivores. What is that one? Herbivores, plant eating animals. For example, cow, goat, sheep, rabbit, everything, elephant, giraffe, deer, everything is known as plant eaters or herbivores. They are called primary consumers, that is first consumer. Which one is consuming that one? The plant eating animals are eating the plant parts. So they are the first consumer, consuming the food material, primary consumer. So this primary consumer, which are occupies the second tropical level, that is said to be T2. So first tropical level, T1, belongs to all the green plants. Okay. Second one, the primary producer, the first level producers are consumed by the second tropical level organism is known as herbivores or primary consumer. The level is known as T2. Dear students, see the diagrammatic representation of different tropical level. First one, first tropical level T1 consists of only green color plants, isn't it? So they are said to be autotrophic nutrition. They are preparing their own food material by absorbing the sunlight, carbon dioxide, water, chlorophyll pigment. They are preparing the food material in the form of starch or carbohydrate. So they are known as producer or autotrophic nutrition. So they are occupies the first tropical level. Then the second tropical level, for example, rabbit is there. Rabbit is an plant eating animal, herbivore, which occupies the second tropical level, T2, known as primary consumers. So the third one, the rabbit which are eaten by the flesh eating animal, example snake. They are occupies the third tropical level, T3. They are known as secondary consumers. Then at the top, the secondary consumers are eaten by the hawk. Secondary consumers are eaten by the other flesh eating animals, example hawk, which occupies the fourth tropical level, T4, that is said to be tertiary consumer. Dear students, the consumers, that means the secondary consumers, particularly the flesh eating animals, are known as carnivore. What is that one? Carnivore. Plant eating animals are herbivore. Flesh eating animals are known as carnivore. So here, first one, which one is the carnivore? Snake is there. So snake is known as primary carnivore. Then another flesh eating animal is, what is that one? Eagle. They are known as secondary carnivore. So depending upon the different tropical level, the name of the organism is also vary. They are occupying the first level means they are primary. Their second level means secondary. Third means tertiary. Third means tertiary. Apart from that, there is no food tropical level, but it may be, what is that one? Tetroidal consumers. So here, out of this, one more animal is there. The animal which are eating both plant parts as well as the flesh of other animal. That is known as omnivore. Both plant parts and a flesh eating animal known as omnivore. Example, crow. The crow which comes for all the tropical level, T1, T2, T3 and T4. So that's why they given the arrow mark in all the levels. Example, crow is an example of omnivore. So this is the different level of ecosystem. Primary, second, third and tertiary tropical level. Primary level producer, second tropical level primary consumer, then secondary consumer, then tertiary consumer. The flesh-eating animals are, first flesh-eating animals are known as primary consumer, another one secondary and tertiary. So this is the different tropical level which has taken place in the step of, what is that one? Food chain. So the number of tropical level is equal to the number of the food chain. See, this side also 4 is there, then right side is also 4 is there, isn't it? So they are equal. Food chain as well as the tropical level is equal. Dear students, see the paragraph, what I told you with the help of the diagram, it's given here. Herbivores are eaten by carnivores. What is that one? Rabbit, which occupies the third tropical level, that is T3. What is the herbivore? Rabbit. Eaten by what? Snake. So the snake which occupies the which tropical level? Third tropical level. So they are also called, what is that one? Primary carnivore or secondary consumer. Primary consumer is, what is that one? Herbivore, rabbit. First adam plant சாப்பிடுது. Then the rabbit is eaten by, what is that one? Snake. So there is a second organism which are consuming the food material. So that is secondary consumer. At the same time, what is that one? Flesh eating animal, it placing the first one. So primary carnivore. Then this snake, that is primary carnivore, is eaten by another carnivore, is known as tertiary consumer or secondary carnivore, which occupies the fourth tropic level. See that one. Carnivores are eaten by other carnivore. What is the carnivore here? Snake, which are eaten by another carnivore. What is that one? Hawk. Snake is occupied the third tropical level. Hawk is occupied the fourth tropical level. So they are known as four. What is that one? Tertiary, consuming the food material. What is that one? Snake. So tertiary consumer, but at the same time it is a second flesh eating animal. So it is known as secondary carnivore. So secondary carnivore. At the same time, at the right hand side we have seen one of the animal is known as crow. The crow which occupies all the four tropical levels, because the crow which eats both plant parts as well as the flesh of other animal is known as omnivore. Example, crow. So these omnivore organisms are occupy more than one tropical level of the food chain. So in the diagram we have seen four tropical level, isn't it? Each and every tropical level it occupies by the omnivores. That is said to be different tropical level which is present in an ecosystem. Now we are going to see how the energy which is flow from one tropical level to another tropical level, whether it is moving in a decreased manner or increased manner or in a balanced manner. So that is said to be energy flow in the ecosystem. See the first line, transfer of energy in an ecosystem between the tropical levels can be termed as energy flow. 2 mark question and also book back question. What is energy flow? Dear students, in the previous paragraph I told you what is herbivore, carnivore, consumer, primary consumer, secondary consumer, everything important. 2 mark and 1 mark question. And also another important 2 mark question is what is energy flow? The transfer of energy in an ecosystem between the different tropical level is known as energy flow. So this energy flow is the key function of an ecosystem. That means it's a basic one. So a part of energy, that is sunlight energy or light energy, which are absorbed from the sun by producer, that is all the green plants. So this sunlight energy or energy is transferred into the consumer. That is, what is that one? Primary, secondary and tertiary consumer. Finally, it reaches to the decomposer. Decomposer means the dead and decayed matter which is buried under the soil after the life cycle is completed. The complex body is decomposed by the microorganism such as bacteria and fungi which is present in the soil, which occupies the topmost tropical level. So whenever the energy is transferred from one level to another level, some amount of energy is dissipated. That means wasted in the form of heat energy. This dissipation is taken place each and every level. At the same time, the flow of energy is only in one direction, that is unidirectional in an ecosystem. That is, it is base from the top, not from the top to base, base from the top. Base is said to be, what is that one? Producer. Second one, consumer. Third one is the decomposer. So these are all the three important ecosystem level. The energy is transmitted in only one direction. That's why the energy flow of an ecosystem is known as unidirectional. Is the important one mark question. Dear students, see the diagram which are showing the energy flow of an ecosystem. Energy flow is a diagrammatic representation. It's very, very important. 3 mark question. First, plants. What I told you, plants are producer. So the plants which are absorbing sunlight from the atmosphere and they are preparing the food material and release some amount of energy. Whenever the energy is transferred from first level to second level, some amount of heat is dissipated. That's why they are given in the form of arrow mark with the heat. Okay. Then the energy released by the plants are utilized by, what is that one? Plant eating animals. That is primary consumer or herbivore. So from that second tropical level, that is primary consumer or herbivore, the energy is transmitted to the third tropical level, that is primary carnivore or secondary consumer. Here the wolf is given here. At the time also a certain amount of heat is released. Then the last level is said to be the decomposers. Why they are given decomposers? I told you, the dead and decayed matter of plant body as well as the animal body. So that's why from plants to the decomposer, they are given 2 arrow mark. One of the arrow mark, the dead and decayed of the plant body buried under the soil. Likewise, the right side, the animal decayed body is also buried under the soil. They are acted upon by the bacteria and fungi which is present in the soil, which converts into simpler substances. When you are pouring the water, those simpler substances are dissolved in the water. Once again, so the dissolved mineral salts is absorbed by the plant by the root region. That's why they are going the reversible arrow mark between the decomposers and plants. So this is said to be the clear diagrammatic representation of energy flow from one level to another level. So there is no equal amount of energy is not transferred from one level to another level. The energy transformation is vary. Whenever they are transferring the energy, certain amount of heat is also dissipated outside. That is said to be transfer of energy from one tropical level to another tropical level, known as energy flow. Dear students, the energy which are flowing from one level to another level, which is proved by the law, is known as law of thermodynamics. First law of thermodynamics as well as the second law of thermodynamics. Up to this, I conclude my video. What is law of thermodynamics? First law, second law, everything we will see in the next video class. God bless you. All the best, children.